Hello and welcome back to another episode of O'Day and Night. I'm your host, Adam O'Day. Today I've listed out 5 impact players that will benefit the UNT football team this upcoming football season. First up is a bit of a surprise since he's been kind of overshadowed in his few years here in Denton, is tight end Christian Lee. He's sat behind guys like Varkey's Gums, Jake Roberts, Asher Alberdine, but, with the departure of those 3 guys to the transfer portal, Roberts transferring to Baylor, and Gums transferring to Arkansas, I believe, Lee is in a prime position to take over the starting role and see a much larger role in this offense. Last season, he only tallied 3 catches for 14 yards, so less than 5 yards a catch, but he was used similar to Jake Roberts as more of a blocking tight end, whereas Varkey's Gums was, your main receiving threat from the tight end and H-back position. So I believe that in Eric Morris's offense, Lee will be able to be more of a receiving threat. And like I said earlier, with 3 tight ends that were listed above him in the depth chart, Lee is in a great position to have a little bit more success. Next on the list is defensive end Mason Richards. Transferred in last season and was named to First Team All-Conference USA, totaling 78 tackles, 12.5 TFLs, and 7.5 sacks. Now, last year, he was used as an edge rusher / outside linebacker D-end hybrid kind of guy, but he's making the transition to full-time defensive end in a different defensive front, so hopefully his production will remain at a high level, and he will definitely be a key contributor on that defense that saw a lot of guys leave, whether it be to the NFL or transferred out. The next guy I have on my list is running back Ayo Adei. He led the team in rushing yards last season with 807 and averaged 7.21 yards per carry, which was 7th at the Division I level, FBS and FCS. Interesting note that I found, he transferred from Division II Harding after his freshman year where he redshirted, which, if you remember from a few weeks ago, I interviewed 2 of Harding's defensive backs, so I just thought that was interesting. But that running back room is pretty crowded that Adei is in, but a lot of talent. So to have 800 plus yards last year, he's going to be good again this year. Next up, I have QB Chandler Rogers. Transferred in ahead of spring ball from Louisiana Monroe, where last year he totaled just over 2,400 yards and 15 touchdowns through the air, 353 rushing yards on the ground, and 5 touchdowns. Now, I haven't seen anything where Coach Morris has listed QB1, but I believe that after spring ball, he for sure won the starting QB position. Still working on building chemistry with his receivers, but I believe that spring game was a huge step in the right direction for him. And man, this dude can fly. I knew from his numbers and from what I was seeing on social media that he was a dual threat, but after seeing him live in that spring game and hearing how much energy the defense had been playing with, Rogers is definitely going to see the field a lot. Even if he's not at QB, we could easily use him similarly to that Heisman package that the Ravens used a few years back with Lamar, Mark Ingram, and RG3, or split them out wide at receiver and, have him catch a few quick passes, could do some trick plays like double passes with him, so, he's going to see the field a lot, more than likely. And by far, next up on the list, by far the best player from last year's team, Reg Texada. He's playing corner, totaled 43 tackles and 3 picks. Now, he is a bit on the shorter end, but, two picks against FAU. I was at that game. He returned one all the way to the 1 yard line and returned the other for a touchdown. So, with the departure of Deshaun Gaddy and Katie Davis, Larry Nixon at the linebacker position, Ridge is going to have a big challenge ahead of him, but I believe he is more than capable of carrying this defensive secondary and leading this Mean Green team to at the very least, a 500 record. So, hope y'all enjoyed this episode. I know it's been a couple weeks since I've posted it. I've had a lot of stuff come up, but hopefully within the next few weeks I can start making some more content for y'all. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed, and see y'all in the next episode.